So important to look after your care. Straight out of my head. Hi, my name's Alyson Peacock. I'm a hair and makeup artist and I am here with Milk and Blush today, and we are going to go over the ultimate hair care guide. I started my makeup career in Australia and then I trained formally in Vancouver, Canada, and now I'm here in the UK, and I specialise in editorial, bridal, e-commerce, anything really that's creative. And that's why I love the hair and makeup industry, because it gives you the freedom to be creative, work with like-minded people, and yeah, it's just a creative outlet for me. I came across Milk and Blush a couple of years ago. Being a hair and makeup artist, hair extensions are a staple in my kit. I don't go anywhere without them. And the reason I love Milk and Blush hair extensions is because of the quality, first of all. Super luscious and thick, so that means they're really, really long lasting, and the colour range obviously is amazing. Before I was blonde, I've been blonde for about over 10 years now. I had jet black hair, which not many people could imagine me with jet black hair. But basically, back in those days, I guess, I used to wash my hair a lot, so the colour would build up towards the end of my hair and then it would wash out up the top. So I remember having to go, when I decided to go blonde, I had to have a bleach wash in my hair. And if anyone has ever had a bleach wash in your hair, you'll know what I mean when, like, what it does to your hair is horrendous. It basically, like, kills it. Like, bleach washing the colour buildup out of your hair. So when I went blonde, my hair was, like, so damaged. So hair extensions became a best friend, obviously. With me personally, you can see, like, I've got a lot of hair, but it's really fine. And around the front it gets like really thin and it snaps a lot, obviously because I put a lot of heat on it. I've put my hair through the ringer. I'm going to tell you how important it is to take care of your hair. As you get older, your hair starts to get thinner, you get more breakage, you lose volume, and it's not necessarily products that are going to help. You need to make sure that it's coming from the inside out. Like, I like to think of your hair as a second skin. Basically, you want to make sure your hair's strong when it's growing out of the cuticle. So making sure the protein's strong, your vitamin B levels are good, vitamin C supplements, iron levels, make sure you're eating healthy, because all of that's going to have an impact on how your hair grows. First of all, sulfates. Sulfates is the foaming agent in the shampoo. That is kind of hard to avoid, but there's a lot more like natural products coming out now, or natural ingredients coming out now that provide, kind of like that foaming action and that antibacterial ingredient. Things like alcohol, artificial fragrances, because they're really going to dry your hair out. You don't want to be stripping the hair too much of all its natural oils, because that's what's going to keep your hair strong and nourished and hydrated. Living Proof, most of their products are sulfate and paraben free. Iron Co, RGK, they're a completely vegan brand. Their dry shampoos are really nice. They have an invisible dry shampoo which doesn't leave any build-up in your hair. Pureology, they do an amazing purifying shampoo, which I think is so important to really cleanse the hair, to get rid of product build-up, once a week, once a month. If you're looking for something a little bit more natural, you can use apple cider vinegar, because that is kind of a really natural way of not stripping the hair, but just really balancing out the pH level on the scalp and just getting rid of that extra product buildup. Olaplex definitely is my go-to, especially if you're lightening your hair. Honestly, been a game changer for me. My hair would usually get to like shoulder length and then start to snap off. And then when I found Olaplex, I've kind of never gone back. Just trust your hairdresser in what they say. Bond sealer is probably your best bet. I found it's been really helpful for me. Just got to make sure, like, a lot of people have thinning around the front of their hair because that's where they use heat the most. So when you're putting it into your hair, just make sure you're getting these bits here, because a lot of people will just go, oh, I'll put that a little bit on the end, but you're actually missing those parts around the front. Hair masks. Weekly hair masks. Doesn't have to be for very long, like you can leave one on 5 minutes at a time. You can sleep in them, like I said before. But it's basically keeping your hair nourished and hydrated. The cold kind of can have the same effect as the heat. It can cause snappage in your hair, and obviously you want to avoid that at all costs. Obviously, one of the biggest causes of damage to your hair during the summertime is the sun. So you want to be using products that protect your hair from UVB and UVA rays. Chlorine, salt, Institute Estederm has a hair and body oil that is just amazing. That's my favorite. So if you ever go to the beach, it's your sun cream. It's your sun cream for your hair. It's your sun cream for your body. And it's a beautiful oil, and it leaves your hair really nourished. Protects it from the salt, from the sun. So if you're swimming in like chlorine waters, just make sure you're using a really good protector for the hair. Kerastase does this, I think it's Soleil, their Soleil hair mask is really good for the sun and for the chlorine. Virtually everyone puts heat in their hair. A good heat protector, a good hair mask, a good dry shampoo. I found the Way Memory Mist. I find it's a little bit deceiving on what it says, because for me personally, I don't find that it works as a memory mist. Like, it doesn't hold the style in my hair for the next day. It might do for some other people, but for me, it's more so, it's so lightweight and it's a heat protector. So I use the Kerastase Elixir Ultime, which I've been using for years and years and years. It's a beautiful oil. It's really lightweight and nourishing for the hair. Gives it so much shine. It's a heat protector up to, I think it's 230 degrees. And I use it in my hair, like basically as soon as I get out of the shower. A dry shampoo, the IGK Invisible Shampoo is amazing. Just trust me, try it. It's the best dry shampoo out there to me. A silk pillowcase. Sounds kind of strange, but basically on a cotton pillowcase, the fibers can really kind of rough up the cuticles of your hair, whereas silk pillowcases don't do that. Going heatless as well. Don't put heat on your hair every day. Diet and nutrition. Make sure you're eating the right things. Supplements as well. Really, really important. You shouldn't really be washing your hair more than twice a week. Everyone's different. Your hair, when it's wet, is at one of its most vulnerable states. So basically, you want to use a wide tooth comb to avoid, ripping it out. And if your hair is a little bit weaker, it's just going to snap off. So you have to be really careful with that kind of thing. Again, like touching on this pillowcase idea, when you're drying your hair, use an old cotton t-shirt as opposed to your towel, because obviously you can see what the fibers are like on your towel. They're really rough and absorbing. So using an old cotton t-shirt is going to be much more gentler on your hair. Checking in and seeing how your body is feeling, your skin is looking, your hair is looking, and after the holidays, you're feeling a little bit lackluster, your skin's a bit flat, your hair's a bit flat, so it can be worthwhile having a detox. So either committing to, you know, I know it's really hard to do heatless for a month, but even just a week will be really beneficial for your hair. And just checking in with your body and seeing how you're feeling, you know, making sure you're eating the right food, drinking lots of water, exercising, because all of that is going to help when your hair starts to grow. It's going to give it the best platform it has not to break. Hair extensions are dead hair. It's not like the hair that grows out of your head. So the method in caring for them is a little bit different to caring to the hair on the top of your head. So there's a few things you can do that are really important, like storing the hair correctly, keeping it out of the sunlight, brushing it after you use the hair. When you're brushing it, start from the bottom and work your way through to the top, because you don't want to be ripping that hair out if it's tangled or damaged, because ultimately that's going to reduce the life of the hair. I wouldn't recommend putting too much product on the hair extensions. You shouldn't really be washing the hair extensions too much, because it can really dry out the hair. But obviously if you've got too much product build up, then yes, you can wash them. Just be really, really careful that you're using the right tools and right ingredients. Milk and Blush have a YouTube video that shows how to wash your hair extensions correctly, because yeah, like I said, it's not the same as working with your own hair. You have to be really, really careful. It's relative dependent on what you use the hair extensions for and how often you use them. If you're using them once or twice a month, they can last years. If you're using them every day, maybe about 3 months. On average, they say 3 to 6 months. But yeah, it just depends on what you use them for and how you look after them. If you treat them well, they'll last longer. First of all, don't sleep in them. It's very uncomfortable. And make sure when you're brushing them, like I said before, start brushing them from the bottom to the top. If they're already in your hair, just be aware of anywhere that's pulling on your head, because that's not going to help your actual hair in the long run. It could cause breakage. Just lift it up and move the clip. Things like back combing before you're putting the extension in the hair, giving the hair extension some grip. Because if you don't do this, the extension can slide down the hair, and obviously as your hair gets lower to the tip, it gets weaker. So if your hair extension is sliding down, that again can cause a lot of snappage in your hair. So yeah, just be mindful of those things, because again, it's going to help the life of your hair extensions and the life of your own hair as well. When heat styling your hair extensions, it's like your own hair. Don't blast them with heat. Make sure you're using a heat protector. Don't go over 180 degrees. If you do wash your hair extensions, make sure you're putting like some kind of oil-based product on, a lightweight one, that's going to re-nourish the hair and put those oils back into the hair that it can't naturally get from your scalp. I really hope this information helps you guys going forward. If you have any questions, comments or feedback, please let us know. Our hair is part of our identity, so treat it with kindness, treat it with the same way and same respect you would treat your body, your mind, your skin. It's really important to practice self-care. If you want to know any information about me, please click on my Instagram below. Otherwise, Milk and Blush release a new video every Tuesday, so remember to subscribe and tune in, and have a great week, guys.